interesting because there's so many ways to make music, and there's so many ways to fit into the world of music and creativity. And some people are really great singers, and some people are just like really amazing, crafty songwriters. You know, like writing on the row, and there's kind of this subheading of those people that are like you, and I would put myself in this category, which is just like I never was interested. Like I remember coming across my first like musics, which I didn't grow up around music at all, but I had my best friend in junior high. His parents were like the coolest people in Twin Falls, Idaho, and
love it,
which is really saying something.
Yes,
that hotbed of
coolness,
pop culture.
Yes.
Yeah. But he had an amazing like folk rock record collection, and so when I kind of discovered music, it was like Neil Young, and James Taylor, and like those kind of cats. And I just assumed that like if you were a musician, you wrote your own songs, you played your own instruments, and you sang the songs that you wrote.
Totally.
And it was like shocking to me when a few years later, I was like, wait, she doesn't, she's just a great singer. That's just like
Linda Ronstadt.
Exactly. They have
Yes.
like no interest in writing songs. I'm just like the vehicle for other people's songs. I'm like,
so cool
you can do
as well.
that too, which is also very cool. Yeah.
Yes.
But I still think that for me, I just come back to, I love a singer-songwriter, and I love a person that tends to write from their own heart in a way that's sort of like maybe tangentially, if that's even a word, commercial.
Yeah.
Like it's almost incidental.
It's really cool when it becomes like a polished, it like fits into a polished, like, there is like a sense of like commerciality or whatever in the songwriting that is also striking that chord somehow. Like, I feel like Madi Diaz is like such a good, I don't know, her and Caroline Spence, like, I'm like, how do y'all have both of those things where you're like, I can feel your heart in the music, or you make me feel connected to my heart in the music, and it's also like so polished and like structured as well.
Like, it does not hurt that both of those ladies you mentioned are fantastic singers.
Yes. I totally interrupted you, by the way.
No. That's all I wanted to kind of point out, that game that you're describing right there of just like the intersection between a very personal connection to the song and this kind of wide appeal is elusive at best, and maybe even like coincidental in a way when it does really happen. But that's just like a different way of, I feel like, writing song. It comes from a different bucket than like also a really cool song. I like kind of come back, I'll sort of check out country radio here and there just to see what's going on, because it's like always those big songs are clever as hell. Yeah. They got those like, I'm
like, it does scratch an itch.
It does scratch an itch. It totally does.
Yeah.
But I don't go back to that music because it's sort of like, I don't know, it's like not made for me, for one thing. But it's interesting. Like you played that game at a very high level, whatever.
Oh my, I don't feel that way.
From this end of the table.
I thought where we were going to end up is like, we don't do that.
Well, it's for you to say. You can say whatever you want about yourself.
I feel like, that's something that I kind of similar to the goal setting thing has come later. There's such a respect that I have for the more disciplined writers like Andrew Combs that are in my world, like that I get to see a little bit of like their process just from knowing them over time. Like Caroline is like always who I go to, or like, they are like seasoned songwriters and like crafters of like the lyrics, and it creates like such a satisfying combination of like structure, and I'm kind of repeating myself, but structure and feeling. And I feel like I'm not a good editor of my songs. Like it's just now occurring to me that I could stand to like go, and be like, I could tweak that a little bit and maybe make it, but it's sort of like, if it doesn't come out, in the first iteration of me like trying to write it, then it's like hard for me to, I don't know.
So
it's hard for me to go back. Yeah.
Grab
I'm not
that
a
energy
honer.
and ride that. Yeah. Totally understand.
But I would like to be.
We could all stand a bit to be a little bit more.
I would like to hone it.
Eddie or, you know, who's another guy that, in that category, because I'm thinking about him. I also mentioned or met this fella at that house with Daniel, Daniel and Lion. It's Donovan Woods.
Oh,
I don't know. He might have even been there that night.
Yes.
But that guy is another one that's just like, God, some of those songs and he's, I think, probably a serious crafter or a serious editor, because those songs like do not,
they don't miss.
They don't miss. They don't waste words.
Yeah.
It's just like every word is like necessarily there.
Yes.
Very good. Good job, guy.
Yes.
Keep up the
good job,
work.
Don.
Good job, Don.
Yeah.
So, okay. I'm curious too. Okay. So your journey has been different. I just had a guest on setting this question up. Okay. Focus and execute. My friend Anna Vogelsang, we just had a little chat, and she, like me, kind of her vision when she was starting out was like, you just tour all the time. Like if you play shows, then you're doing it.
Yeah.
And you don't wait for the song. You don't meet people. You don't let people decide whether or not you get to do it. And consequently, you're out there all the time.
Yeah.
And that's validating in its way. And it comes at significant cost also.
Yes.
But, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like you didn't do that. You stayed in town. I don't know. I talk about that or.
Yeah.
Do you.
I think.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I think I had some good friends early on too. Like John Davey is one of my oldest songwriter friends. And he was very much, talk about a songcrafter, by the way. So good. I met him through Anthony Simpkins, his Gems on VHS video series here in town. But he was somebody who, when I met him, he had been touring like in that way, like get in the car, book DIY shows, go, go, go. And like over time had built up, you know, his fans and his following. And to me, I think it just, it seemed more elusive to me to be able to do that. Like I did try here and there. Me and Molly Parton did a weekend tour once. That was literally like one house show and a show on it was Thacker Mountain Radio. I think that was in Birmingham.
I always wanted to play that show.
Yeah. We got that. And then we played a house show at, a friend's house for like 8 people or whatever in Memphis. And that was like our weekend tour. But it just seemed like also financially, I couldn't actually like figure out how to generate income to like to go out on to start with. And I think a lot of people were just braver than me and more a little scrappier and like, okay, I've got, $20, put it in the gas tank, go play a show, stay there until I make money and keep going. Or, or like, and I also think I was just more like insular and kind of like idealistic like sort of the fantasy, the idea of music that really took up a lot of my brain space for a long time, rather than learning how to like put the pedal to the metal and like go
grind.
Do it. Yeah. And so I feel like very fortunate that I was able to, started hopping on singing harmonies for people. And that was like a big way that I got to be introduced to other people and like go on tour for really. Like Andrew Combs, I met him when I was putting my first EP out, and he brought me on tour a lot because I would open for him and like we'd share a band and I have like basically him to thank. And then also Cale Tyson, who doesn't live here anymore, but he brought me and introduced me to my first little label that was in the UK. So anyways, I can go on like such a tangent.
This is great.
Because it's like kind of fascinating to me, like how it ends up.
All the puzzle pieces, like all the.
I'm like, how did I end up getting to do this? Like,
hey, thanks for watching. Go ahead and click here to like and subscribe. You can click right there to watch another video, or click here to watch a playlist featuring songs of the Morse Code Podcast. Okay, thank you very much.